Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we're back with another UFC predictions video on the channel. Today we're going to be my predictions for UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov. Now this looks a really good fight night coming up. We've just come off UFC 304, which was quite a decent card, and now we're up to this fight night, which is really good for a fight night. We're in like Abu Dhabi or something. Really good main card and stuff, so I'm going to give my predictions for it today. But before I do that though, I want to ask you guys to go down below and hit subscribe. We're only on like less than 10 subscribers at the minute. We need to get that number up, guys. Come on, get it down there and get subscribing. So I've got the entire fight card up in front of me. We've got 13 fights, and we start off with the first prelim of Cedric Dumas versus Denis Tuiliulin. Now I'm going to pick Dumas for this fight. He is coming off a loss to Ruziboyev, I think. Yeah. But that was kind of weird because I swear eye poked him, and then like as he was recovering from the eye poke, he just knocked him out, which is kind of crazy. But to be fair, I thought he was going to lose that fight, so he did. But he's got a few decent wins, to be fair to him. And to be fair, I'm only picking him really because Denis Tuiliulin is pretty bad. 11-9 in the UFC. Well, like that's his record. It's kind of shit. He's 1-4 in the UFC. He's lost his last 3. I mean, he's going to get cut after this fight. Let's be real. His only win. His last couple fight, well, his only win in the UFC is to Jamie Pickett, so he's going to get cut soon. And yeah, I'm going to pick Dumas by knockout in this fight, to be honest. So, moving up the cards, we have Herbert versus Rolando Bedoya. Now, a tough one to pick, really. Herbert 2-4 in the UFC, to be fair, but he's got a draw against Ludwig Klein, which is actually pretty decent, to be fair, because Ludwig Klein is very good. He's also coming off a loss, is he? Or a win, I can't remember. Bedoya, though, where's he from? Peru? I think that is that flag, I'm not really sure. 14-3, not too bad. He's coming off 2 losses, though. A split decision win, no, split decision loss to Chaos Williams, and a loss to Kenan Song. So, it's a close fight, to be fair. I'm not sure. I think they're both going to have losses, and I'm going to go with Herbert with this. Going to back the Englishman, and I don't know, I think he gets back in the win column here, and I think he gets the job done. So, moving up the card, we have Victoria Dudakova versus Sam Hughes. Well, this is a pretty easy pick, if I'm being real. I'm going to go with Dudakova, undefeated in women's MMA here. Sam Hughes also isn't great. She's 8-6. She lost the last fight to Uruguay, and I think she didn't look great in that, to be fair. So, I think this is probably one of the easiest picks of the card. Don't know what the odds are. Probably pretty high in favour of Dudakova here, but yeah. I'd put my money on Dudakova if you can. So, moving up the card, we have Goran Kutateladze versus Jordan Vucenic. Now, I've heard of this Vucenic. I'm going to butcher so many names of this card. There's so many weird names. I actually had to like retake the intro because I couldn't say fucking Nurmagomedov or whatever you say. I don't have a clue, to be honest. But Vucenic, I think he's the champion in like Cage Warriors or something. He's got his last 4 wins are all by submission, and he's pretty good. He looks decent. 13-2. Kutateladze, he's also pretty good. 12-4, but he's coming off a loss to he's got 2 losses in a row. He's got a split decision versus Magomedov, who's not very good, to be fair. I think he's lost the last couple of fights to Magomedov. And he also lost to Elvis Brener. He did have a split decision win over Gamrot, to be fair, in his first fight, which is decent. But apart from that, he hasn't looked too great. He lost a knockout as well to Elvis Brener, which was, I think that was a crazy fight, to be fair. That was a good fight. And I don't know who to pick here. I think I'm going to go with Vucenic here. I mean, there's not much to go off because I've not actually watched many of his fights. So I'm just hoping he's coming in here. Kutateladze coming off a loss as well, and probably might get the submission done. You never know. So, moving up the card. The GOAT, Shamil Gaziev versus Don'Tale Mayes. Now, do I go with Shamil Gaziev after that last performance? I can't. I'm going to pick Don'Tale Mayes here. I mean, I wouldn't normally pick Don'Tale Mayes, to be honest. He's coming off a win against Xiao Machado, to be fair to him. I don't think Machado's very good. He lost to Nascimento. Is that the guy that fought Derek Lewis? I'm not really sure. He knocked out Andrei Arlovsky, to be fair. He's an okay fighter, Mayes. He's not the best, not the worst. But I mean, Gaziev, I'm pretty sure he's the favourite as well for this fight. Did no one watch his last fight? I can't all what's his face? All Mayes has to do is just outlast him one round and he wins. That's That's all I've got to go off. I think he's just going to outgas him. That's my only pick I'm going to go over here. Because technically, if Shamil Gaziev can like get him down, he can probably submit him. But if he survives round 1, I think this pick's got a really good chance. And the underdog pick as well. I feel like it's a smart pick to go with here because Mays, like, honestly, he can easily beat Gaziev after that last performance. I can't pick the GOAT never again after that. Unless he wins here, then I might consider it. But we're going to go with Mays for now. So, moving up the card, we have Mohamed Yahya versus how the earth do you say this? Kue Fernandes. I have no idea how you say this guy's first name. It's spelled K-A-U-E with a little hat on. No, I can't even begin to pronounce that. Maybe it's a Kai Fernandes. 8-2. I've seen him before in the UFC. He's had one fight versus Mark Diakase, and he lost by split decision. So, great fighter to be fair. Diakase is not that great. He thinks he's in the PFL now or something. I'm not really sure. Mohamed Yahya on the other hand, he's also only had one fight in the UFC, and he lost unanimous decision to Trevor Peake. So it's a tough one. This I don't really know who to pick. They've both not got much experience in the UFC. I don't know how much to go off with this because I haven't watched them on their like regional scenes or anything. So just have to go with who I think is going to perform better here, and I'm gonna go Fernandes with this pick. 8-2. I mean, the split decision loss isn't too bad in his only fight. He's got quite a few like knockout wins and that, and yeah, I think he's just going to be better. I think he's probably fought tougher opponents than this Yahya guy in the like United Arab Emirates. Like, not really sure who any of these guys are he's fought. So yeah, I'm going to go Fernandes here. I know it's a split one, but I'm going to go Fernandes. I don't know if he's the favourite or not. Yeah, he is. So probably a smart pick that. But we're moving up the card too. Alonso Menifield versus Azamat Murzakanov. Decent fight, to be fair. Alonso Menifield, is he the guy that got knocked out by like Ulberg in like 10 seconds? Am I correct in that? Yes, he is. 12 seconds he lost in round 1 to Ulberg. That's crazy. But apart from that, he actually he had a good couple wins in a row. He had like 2 wins, then draw, then 2 more wins. Where he drew to Dreamy Coot, then beat him. But it's not too bad. He did lost to William Knight though, which is probably one of the worst losses you can ever get in the UFC. Literally a standing punching bag in his last fight in the UFC. But Azamat Murzakanov, 13-0. It looks pretty decent. He's also beat Justin Jacoby. He's also flying knee to Nchukwi, and a win against Devin Clark by ground and pound. I'm going to go with Murzakanov. He's going to keep the undefeated streak in a row, and Menifield coming off a 12-second loss by KO is kind of crazy, so I've got to pick Azamat here. So, yep, that is my pick. Now, moving up to the main card, we have Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brener. Now, a pretty good fight here, I've got to say. Oh, man. I've still got a sore throat, so sorry if I'm like coughing and sniffling in this video. It's too much. But Joel Alvarez has got a lot of submission wins, to be fair to him, in the UFC. Most of his wins are literally from, by submission. He's got 17 wins in total by submission, which is kind of crazy. 5-2 in the UFC. Lost a good opponent, to be fair. He's like only lost in the last like how many fights to Armin Sarukian, who's going to fight for a title in his next fight probably. So not a bad loss really. Elvis Brener looked good against Kutateladze, but then did lose. I forgot he fought Kruszewski as well. So he got them 2 knockouts in a row, and then lost to Oralbai. But I mean, Oralbai is like, who is this guy? He's just prehistoric human with unreal strength. He just comes out of nowhere. But yeah, not surprised he lost to him. But it's a tough one to pick, really. I'm not really sure who to pick. He is coming off that loss. I might go with Alvarez here, you know, because he did get out-wrestled in his fight against Oralbai, so maybe Alvarez will out-wrestle him and maybe get a submission in this one, you know. He's so good at submissions. He might find one against Brener here, so that's my pick. Now, moving up the card, another women's fight on the card. Mackenzie Dern versus Lupita Godinez. Now, not a bad women's fight, to be fair. Mackenzie Dern coming off 2 losses, to be fair. She lost by KO to Andrade and then lost decision to Lemos. She's got a few good wins. I don't know really. She's alright. Mackenzie Dern. So is Lupita Godinez. Quite loopy. She's quite good, I think. She's come off a loss to Jandiroba, but Jandiroba's doing whatever now. She's got a submission win against Lemos and stuff. So tough one to pick really. It's a women's fight, so you never really know what's going to happen. It could go either way, but I think I'm going to go with Lupita Godinez in this one. I think she's going to get it done by decision. Mackenzie Dern, 2 losses in a row. Lupita Godinez only coming off 1 loss. So yeah, we'll go with Lupita Godinez here. It's a coin flip really, and it's a women's fight, but I have faith in her. So moving up the card, we have the biggest fight of the cards: Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa. Oh God, why do we have to watch Tony Ferguson fight again, man? Why? To be fair, if Tony Ferguson is going to win a fight, it might be against Michael Chiesa, if we're being real here. But I can't see it happening. I mean, like, I'm going to go with Michael Chiesa for my pick here. I can't pick Tony, man. I want to. I really want to. I just can't do it. Like, 7 fights in a row. And his opponent's getting worse as well, like Bobby Green and Paddy Pimblett he's losing to and stuff. Michael Chiesa, last loss to was Kevin Holland, was it? Yeah. And I just can't bring myself to pick Tony here. I mean, how old is Michael Chiesa? I'm pretty sure they're like similar ages, to be honest. Michael Chiesa's 36, Tony is he 40 yet? 40, yeah. So, battle of the old boys. I'm glad Nick Diaz has actually been moved off this fight because you didn't want to see Tony and Nick lose on the same card, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to go with Michael Chiesa here. I just feel like we've seen enough of Tony Ferguson now, and it's sad to say, but this probably is Tony Ferguson's last fight in the UFC because he's going to get cut. So, moving up the card, we have Marlon Vera versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Really big fight at bantamweight this. I'm looking forward to this one. Figueiredo, like, pretty much, is he undefeated since he come to bantamweight? Yeah, beat Rob Font, then beat Cody Garbrandt on UFC 300. 2 big wins, to be fair to him. Marlon Vera, just coming off his undeserved title shot he got against Sean O'Malley, which he looked absolutely terrible until that one knee at the end of the fight. That's all he had, literally. But I'm going to go with Deiveson Figueiredo here. I feel like he's got the momentum. He's coming up the division. This is actually like, if he wins this, maybe another one, he's probably, he's in contention for a title fight anyways if he wins this probably, because Vera coming off just fought for the title. So, big win if he gets this done, and I think he can. He's looked really good since come to bantamweight. His power is still there, and he's can submit people like we saw against Cody Garbrandt. I just feel like he's gonna win a pretty easy decision here, to be honest. And yeah, he's gonna beat Vera in this fight. So moving up the card to Shara Magomedov versus Michael Oleksiejczuk. Now, Oleksiejczuk's not had an easy run in his last couple of fights. He has lost to Michel Pereira and Kevin Holland. Nearly got his arm broke in that Kevin Holland fight. The ref had to literally step in and stop that fight. That was kind of crazy. But yeah, it's a pretty not a great matchup, to be honest, for Oleksiejczuk either. It's going to be a good fight, I think. It might be closer than the other fights. I don't think he'll get finished in this one, but I do think Magomedov is going to win this one. He's looked pretty good in his last couple of fights. He got the finish as well against Cory. Very nice finishes in the 3rd round. I think he was going to win the decision anyways, but good he got the finish. So yeah, I feel like he's going to come into this one spirits high, fighting in Abu Dhabi again or Saudi. He doesn't fight in America, which is stupid. He seems to always be on these cards. But yeah, he's going to keep the undefeated streak going, and Michael Oleksiejczuk could be getting cut soon, or he could be leaving UFC. I don't know. I think I saw an Instagram post from him recently saying he's done with fighting and stuff if he loses this. But yeah, kind of crazy. But yeah, Magomedov, he's got this one. So moving up to the main card, Cory Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Now, big fight this at bantamweight. Obviously this is a #1 contender fight. Whoever wins this will fight for the belt after Merab. So it's a big fight, to be fair. I actually think both of these could beat Sean and Merab, to be fair. So it'll be a good fight either way. And this is a really good fight, these two. So I don't know who to pick, to be honest. Sandhagen is obviously really good. Like, since he lost to Jan, he's just come up with like, I don't know how there's a split decision versus Vera. I still can't believe it's a split next to that. That's kind of crazy. But his last fight against Rob Font, everyone was like booing him in that. I remember in the cage, but like that fight was meant to be against Umar, but then Umar pulled out, and I'm guessing Cory Sandhagen had just been training wrestling for the entire camp for this fight, and that's why he showed it off against Font. So I feel like Cory Sandhagen will be prepared for the wrestling of Nurmagomedov, and I feel like he will get took down, but I'm not sure Umar can submit him, to be honest. I mean, he hasn't had a submission for quite a few fights now, Umar, since Brian Keller in 2022, so I'm not sure. They both can win this. Umar's still undefeated, 17-0. Cory Sandhagen 17-4. I'm going to go Cory Sandhagen with this fight. You know, I just feel like he's too good. I feel like he's going to have prepared really well for this fight. Umar did look a bit shaky as well against, who was the last guy for Almabayev or something? What was that guy's name? No, Almakan. Bezka Almakan, whatever his name was. That Kazakhstan guy came in and he literally like almost knocked him out. And what you think he wobbled Umar in the first round, which is crazy as fuck. But Umar like got him down for the rest of the fight and like pretty much dominated. But that was showed a bit of weakness in his game and showed he's beatable. So I've got Cory here, and I think he's going to do it by decision. So there we have it. That was my picks for UFC Fight Night: Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov. If you I butchered that, of course, but if you disagree or agree with my picks, let me know down in the comments. And that is all for today's picks. Make sure if you enjoyed it, you go and leave a like in this video, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.